So once the certificate authority creates this digital signature, once it creates the digital certificate, it needs to be stored somewhere. Where does it actually put it? Well, it's really not going to store it on its own server. The CA is a sensitive system. The CA needs to be really protected because if it's compromised, then the whole trust hierarchy falls apart. So the certificate authority needs to be properly hardened and protected. So that means that we don't want a lot of people coming to it to get actual certificates. We want it, usually they're offline, meaning they're not directly accessible. So, but we need to make these digital certificates available to, who needs them. And that's what a repository is. It actually will go into a public repository. So if you're using a CA, an external CA like VeriSign, anybody can come to the VeriSign directory and get your digital certificate so that they have your public key. If it's an internal PKI, then usually, if it's a Microsoft environment, then the public keys or the digital certificates are held like on a domain controller. Now, should we be concerned these digital certificates that they're held in publicly accessible directories? Isn't that anybody can access? You don't have to authenticate to get one of these. Is that an issue? It's not an issue because if anybody got one of the certificates and modified it, the receiver would know because they're going to validate it. Remember that the receiver is going to take that digital certificate and put it through a hashing algorithm and compare the MD values. So it's okay that we keep these certificates in a publicly accessible directory. We need to because anybody can be able to get access to public keys, but the receiver will also know if there's been any modification because we're using hashing.